So in this video, I'll be talking about the proof of funds for your Canada study permit application. This is more like the most important part of the application. So if you're watching this video, it probably means you either have got the admission and planning to apply for a study permit, or you just planning to apply for admission and trying to get a big picture in terms of how the proof of fund works and what are some of the things that you need to do. So in this video, I'll talk about 10 things that you need to know, or kind of put in place when thinking about your proof of fund, how to show the documents, how much is involved, and some of the mistakes that you need to avoid. So if you really want to learn more about this, I think this is the video you should be watching, because you get all the information you need in this video. So let's start by talking about the new proof of funds requirement. Of course, you know that starting January 1st, 2024, there is a new requirement for the proof of funds, and that the cost of living for the principal applicant has been increased to, I'm just going to have my phone here because I want to make sure I don't say the wrong numbers, has been increased to $20,635 for a single applicant. And do you know that it is not only the principal applicant, the requirement for the fund that has been increased, especially for the cost of living. If you are a family of two, you're going to be needing 25,619 Canadian dollars, right? That's pretty good outside. And if you have a third family member, you're going to need an additional 6,763 Canadian dollars. So that brings a family of three, a proof of cost of living requirement to be 31,583. Okay. And if you have another fourth family member, for those that apply for maybe yourself, your husband, and two of your children, for that fourth family member, they're going to need 5,146, okay? And that makes the family of four to be about 38,346 Canadian dollars. And then there is also for family of five, family of six, family of seven, as the case may be. So these are only for living expenses, okay? So if you, for other requirements for the proof of fund, is going to include the tuition, okay? So what they require is at least 1 year tuition plus the cost of living. And to calculate that, you can use the official rate, check the IRS, you just type IRS currency converter, something like that. You'll be able to see the exchange rate that they are using. If not, you can just use Google, okay? So most times, the official rate is what you will find on Google. You just put, if you, let's say, converting 40,000 Canadian dollars to Ghana cedis or to Naira or to whatever different currency, just type it on Google. Whatever you have is pretty much close to what you have. My advice would be, whatever you've calculated, just add like maybe $3,000 to $5,000 extra to what you've calculated. That way, if there are one or two exchange rate fluctuations here and there, you are not going to have an issue. So now there are 10 things I want to kind of, give you some tips on how to. I'm not an immigration consultant, please. So this is just an advice. That whatever information I'm saying now, you can always confirm that from the Canada visa immigration website or the IRCC website. The number one thing I want to talk about is, do not use a sponsor that you can't provide proof of relationship. Affidavit, yeah, but may not be the best option, because anybody can write an affidavit. Okay, so I would say the best way to show proof of relationship would be birth certificates. I've kind of talked about that in the video. I know sometimes maybe your father or your uncle may not have birth certificate, but kind of try to let them do an affidavit or age declaration somehow. That may also work. Let them do it way ahead of time so that it doesn't look like they just did it recently. And another thing is, if your sponsor, if you are somebody is sponsoring you, right? If there is some evidence of the support they've rendered to you in maybe your prior education and stuff like that. You can also include the receipt just to show that this person has been supporting you for a very, very long time. So that's also good. So family members are the best people to sponsor for business. Well, yes and no. Um, it depends on the course that you're applying for. Except the course really, relates to what we want to enhance the company. Yeah, maybe you should work there for a while. If the company wants to pay part of your tuition, that is going to be much better, right? Or if they want to send the money to your account, that's going to be much better, But overall, if you can get family sponsorship or self sponsorship, that may be the best option. Okay. Now, the number two thing is avoid, low starting balance. Okay. So which means if you want to show, let's say you want to show $40,000, in your account, an equivalent, okay, it can be different in other local currency, and your opening balance is only like $500, so like it's going to be like, how come we just went all the way to $40,000, right? So you just have to take your time. Take your time to really plan this a lot. You need 4 to 6 months of bank statement. And, once you've already got the admission and you now decide, I'm applying for visas, so time, then, try to make sure you don't withdraw so much money from your account, so that they can have enough money saved for this or Canada thing. So they don't like, balances that are too low. For those that apply from Nigeria, let's say you want to show like 30 million naira and you're showing only like an opening balance of like 100,000 naira. So that may be too small. Okay. So that's why you have to plan so that by the time you print your bank statement, you should have a good opening balance, let's say like 5 million, 7 million, as the case may be. And also, if you have savings, okay, and if you've saved that amount and you have it available, maybe for a year, not a problem, right? Not a problem. You just have to show the source of those funds. That is mostly what I care about. Where are those funds coming from? Sometimes people may have also asked, do I need to let the money stay in the account for that 4 months period? No, you don't have to. The money can progressively grow in your account. Maybe you have more commission in your businesses and you sold more things in your business, or some things like that. So it should progressively, even though your money gets completed like 3 weeks to your visa application, is not the problem. The most important thing is how you justify the source of funds. Number third thing I want to mention is that avoid irregularities in your bank account, okay? Especially when you've already decided you want to do this a year ahead, let money be stable in your account. You don't want to have, I'm just going to be using Canadian dollars as an example. You don't want a situation whereby your account is like, $10,000, $10,000, $10,000, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And then that money moves to like, it reduces all the way to like $2,000, and then $2,000, and then we jump to $8,000, and then $8,000, and then you jump to $1,000, and then $1,000 for a few days, jumped all the way to 30,000. It's just a lot of irregularities like that. Even though you have a business, I know you can kind of need money to do one or two things, but you have to plan it out, okay, so that you can use that 1 year to save enough money and avoid those irregularities in the account. Whatever I'm telling you now, is as a result of seeing hundreds of GCMS, hundreds of GCMS notes that, that people have applied for, and it gives a lot of insight as to how to do your application next. Okay. The fourth thing is going to be avoid lump sum, okay, that are not justifiable, okay. It's not entirely bad if you sold a piece of property and other things like that. Yeah, not a problem. You can have lump sum if your father, your mother, your siblings sent you some money, big money. Yeah, you can have lump sum, but you have to justify it, okay. So usually a lump sum will be, there is no definition for lump sum. So I would say any amount that is more than, let's say, 3 to 5, times of your salary may be considered as a lump sum. Avoid that, okay? Avoid that. I've seen a lot of reasons where they say There were lots of love songs on this date, on this date, on this date, and they were not justified. The source was not justified. So you need to take your time to justify where all of those big funds are coming from and provide all the necessary documentations as regards to that. And then maybe thinking, oh, I am in a unique situation and I really need to talk to somebody. So reach out to me. There's going to be a link in the description. I'll check that link out, reach out to me on my mentorship program. I'll be glad to, look at the providers, offer, tell you where to get the information that you need on the IRS website. I just give you one or two ideas on how to, go about things. The fifth thing I want to talk about is make sure you upload not very clear documents, clear and legible documents, because sometimes when you compress PDFs, it might actually reduce quality. And if there are things that are blurry, it's really important information, that can also be a problem, because I've seen situations where people's applications were denied because they say, oh, there's lack of credibility because some of the documents were blurring. So they assume that you're trying to hide something. That's why those documents were not eligible. And if you have a lot of things to show, for those that are in Nigeria, you can do a digital bank statement. It's called My Bank Statement. That way your bank account, your bank account is sent directly to the embassy, and then they give you a one-page password. That way, you already, whatever 10, 20 pages is supposed to be for your bank statement is already been compressed and removed. And if you want, you can just include maybe the first summary page of your account to the application. It's still not compulsory, right? You can do that. And when you do that, it gives you more space to upload a whole lot of other relevant documents that will support the form. So it's not just bank statement. Don't make the mistake of uploading only bank statement under that proof of finances. They want to see all the document, employment letter, pay slip, and all of those things. If you sold the landed properties and CAC, all of those things has to be in this proof of funds to justify where all of those funds are coming from. Number 6 is going to be use personal statements, okay? Instead of using, even though you have a business, okay, it's always preferable to use a personal bank statement, because, business, anything can happen, things can change. You can use the money to buy goods the following day or to pay staff. So it is not really very safe. Not safe, it's something that is very volatile. You can leave anytime. But when you have money in your personal account, yeah, it's okay. And if you have the funds in your business account, you want to support your studies and you move money to your personal account, it's okay. You just have to write letters to justify that. It's okay. It's your money. You're not doing anything illegal, right? You just have to show the right documentation. And if you are in a company that require maybe one or two signatures and stuff like that, then you have to kind of put all of those things into consideration. The second advice is going to be add either business or employment related documents that will support your source of funds, okay? And in the source of funds is solely business, you have to include your company registration, letters of references from your own business, if possible, ID card and, receipt and invoices and pictures if possible, that will help to really justify, this business actually exists, and it gives more credibility to your application. And if you're employed, you need things like employment letter, your current one. You don't really need all the past ones. You can get a recent reference letter to say that you're still working in the company. That will be good. And then your pay stub, and that's also very, 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 very important. At least you match with what you have on your bank statement. The 8th thing is going to be, I've said it before, show the source of income. You can't just deposit money in the account and say, okay, after four to 6 months, I'm going to print bank statement. You go figure out where I got the funds from. They don't do that. It's your responsibility to show this is where I got all of my money. Okay. And if somebody else is also sponsoring you also have to show the source of their income. Okay. And if let's say somebody supported you, your father, mother, they just sent money to your account, you also need to do maybe just show where their source of funds is, right? Their business related, employment related, just to show that, These people, they have legit source of funds. Okay, try to do that. The other thing is going to be for property sale, if possible, add the document that showed when you purchased the property, and another document that shows where you are when you sold the property, and then you can also add maybe if you have receipt or stuff like that, if you're a commercial person, and if you have pictures of those properties, that will also be good. Now, you don't calculate properties in terms of, you don't calculate it as among the amount you have for your funds. No, properties are mostly to be used as proof of home ties. Okay, so do that. And the last one is going to be explain any complex part of your application of your finances that it looks as if it's not very straightforward to the visa officer. Don't try to hide anything. My advice would be, when you print out your bank statement, sit down with your bank statement, look through all the transactions and ask yourself, is there any transaction that looks suspicious? Is there any transaction that I need to clarify? You have to clarify all of these ones. And when you do that, hopefully you should get positive response. And yeah, wishing you all the best. If you haven't subscribed to this video, to this channel, do it and subscribe. And if you haven't liked this video, found this content useful, do it to hit that like button, that subscribe and like button, so whenever new videos are released, you'll also be able to get notifications of the videos. And also, yeah, if you need a special mentorship, there's going to be a link in the description. Check it out, and then I'll be so glad to help you. So leave in the comment section, at which stage are you now in your visa application? And in terms of the proof of funds, do you have any issue? If you don't have any issue, just type no issues. Okay, no issues. You may not know what I will give attention to and respond to more inquiries that you will give. And then leave your questions in the comment section. I'll be glad to approach them and give you suggestions on how to go about them at every time point. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Cheers.